Director, Mr. Daniel Falk.
Thank you. Okay, we'll wait for everybody to come down and sit down. Working with the County Auditor's Office to get online zoning maps, we have interactive maps, we have quarter section maps, we have a whole lot of nice things that are now on our website for our citizens. And on the front page, we have a notice for people to look there, so they should find it. They just hit the front page of our site, and I'm going to turn it over to our County Auditor. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Danny, very much, and to the Board of Trustees for having us here tonight. Again, I'm Alan Carroll, I'm the County Auditor, and Brian Hall's with us here. He's our GIS Director, and John Reese, who's a technician in our office. Again, what the GIS does, and I'll let these guys fully explain it, but it's interactive mapping that we use throughout the county, not only in acts and duties for the Auditor's Office, but we partner with folks just like you. We're very, very appreciative of the working relationship that we have with all the townships, and particularly with Denny and Stephanie and in your office here. They're great partners. We actually went, you know, as this topic of the maps was coming up, and really because of the technical expertise and the good working relationship that we have with Denny and Stephanie, you know, we really kind of sought them out in the beginning, and they were our guinea pig for a lot of that, this stuff. There were a lot of meetings back and forth and conversation back and forth to help us, you know, as we brainstorm this idea, as we put the touches on it about what's important, you know, for your staff to use and that. And so as we now roll this out and gone to solicit other townships and that, it's really because of the good work that started off with Denny and Stephanie. So thank you to you folks for that, for making them available. So I'll let John and Brian take it from here.
Thank you, Alan. Yeah, we're going to get into a little bit here as far as how this works, as far as the services and the internet and the cloud and all that fun stuff that you guys have probably learned and heard a lot about with regards to the mapping piece. We're going to show a little bit, I think, about the PDFs and how we're automating some of that to give you guys updates. The biggest thing you need to take away from these services and the way that they work with regards to the mapping component is we no longer have to give you updates. We no longer have to come out to your location and provide you these updates. As you'll see as we go through this process, you'll notice that it's just a map service that runs from our hardware infrastructure down in Canton. And those services are available via the internet, obviously, and we can pull those in. So any changes that we make, if John is doing a parcel split, combine, whatever the case may be in Plain Township, that work's done. The next night is in a sync process where it goes through and it's created and placed on the maps that you guys have. With, again, no interaction other than maybe, you know, you might want to refresh your browser in the morning, should it be cached to an old version. But other than that, it would work. The other thing that's exciting, Denny asked John, I believe, and I don't know exactly how this went down, but Denny asked John to change a few things here on the fly, and John was able to pull in here really quickly the floodplains and the contours onto the map here, and so we have a little bit more content already added to your website version. And that's the other thing that's fantastic about this new capability we have, is very quickly, very easily, we can make modifications to that map. We can add services, we can take them away, you know, whatever works best for the client. So with that, without stealing too much thunder, I'm going to let John go ahead and give you a quick demo of some of the stuff we have and show you how it kind of works and some new things we have coming down the pipe.
So, as Brian said, Denny, you guys now have this on your website. Assuming you've seen it, however, if you haven't, here's the interactive zoning map, which I'll show in a moment. And then down here, there's a PDF of the entire township. And then if you come down here, you can choose whichever section you'd like or you live in. And then you can choose which quarter section PDF you'd like to look at. And as we mentioned, you have those sitting on your server over in the township. Whenever we make changes, it only updates the maps that are actually getting changed. So it's not going to go through the entire process every single night and use up a lot of computer memory. It's just going to process the ones that you need. So as far far as working and having enough memory to do what you need to do, it's always going to be there. So now to the interactive map. Just to show you some of the cool features, this is the public-facing embedded site. Brian mentioned I added the floodplains, the contours, and we actually have the quarter section map on here. So as you zoom in, you can see the different areas. Loads pretty quickly because we cache it. We break it into tiles. Therefore, it's loading a bunch of individual pictures as we're trying to process dynamic data. You can come in here and click on the zone type. You're going to get a few different types of information. We've got parcel information, which we've attached the data that the zoning office finds a lot of benefit out of. So you got the billing owner contact information, so they can send addresses. You come down here, we've attached a hyperlink, so when you click this image, it's going to take you to the auditor's site. You accept the disclaimer, and it's going to take you to that exact parcel that you were looking at. You have to do no extra querying. You just touch it on the map on your website, and it calls out to that specific parcel. So nothing gets lost in translation. We also have the zone type, the zone description. The issue before, when all the data was compartmentalized, every township uses very similar zone types for different types of descriptions. So we were able to break it down by combining everything, put it in one central data store, and now you have your specific description for your township. There's no discrepancy with any other townships. Come down here, you click the link, it calls out to the zoning application, zoning process, forms, any information the customer may need. Also, you go one further, it's going to tell you what quarter section you're in. One thing too that I intend to do is go through for the floodplains and contours, add pop-ups for those. So if it fancies the customer, they can click, find out what the elevation of their property is, or they can find the description of the floodplain that they may fall in. So that's the public-facing site. Another cool thing they can do, hit view larger map. It's going to take them to a larger interface for the exact map that they were just looking at. But it will take up the entire screen. So that's that. We also have an internal map. As you see, this is something that Plain Township would have to log in for. We gave them a username and password. So when they go to the county page, they come in here, click Plain Township, they're going to get to their group. If you're not logged in, you're only going to see one map right here. Since you're logged in, you get two maps. So on this public-facing map, before, the benefit was having more information with the GeoAdmin, the quarter section map, the floodplain and the contours. However, in addition to this, and right now we just have the only polygon. I'm not sure if you guys have heard there's a zoning request for this area, but we can show that to you guys live. Right now it's a single polygon with one change. What we can do is make this available for all zoning requests that come through, and you still have to log in. It's only going to show up on your internal mapping application. So the power of these tools, we see a lot of benefit in it. It's something now that Brian's been diligently collecting all the data, putting it in one central data store. We can offer you these services for free. We keep tossing the word service around. I guess to simply explain it, it's a live feed of data. We use service, like everybody knows what it means, but if you didn't, now you do. So these are just fantastic tools, and keep in mind too, it doesn't stop with zoning data. If you have other departments where you see a map being beneficial, we have a lot of data to where we can utilize it, configure it, make it available to those people. They can utilize it the same way that the zoning department did. Really, there's no hold. Just us knowing what you want. You guys are the experts. We're here to conform that data to however you may need it. As far as the mapping applications, I think that's a pretty good explanation. A couple cool tools. You can measure distance and area. Come in here, change it to feet. You need to find out how far away from the church the zone is, about 190 feet. So, small editing features. Another cool thing that we're working towards, we found out that a common practice in the zoning department is once a specific parcel is changed, they have to notify all the adjoining parcels that touch that boundary. We are working on a tool to where you can come in here, your internal mapping application, select the parcel, hit a button, it's going to run a geoprocessing service. And we will take all the adjoining parcels with parcel number and address information, billing information, and the owner name, export that to an Excel sheet, and And then once in the Excel sheet, you guys can go through and convert those to mailing labels, so that what was originally an hour, 2 hour plus process becomes a process of 5 to 10 minutes. So we're learning, we're just getting into it. Sky's the limit as far as we're concerned, but like I said, you guys are the experts. You let us know how you can use it. We can come up with solutions for you.
And I guess to John's point right there, it's a conversations with the people that are using it every day. You know, we're certainly not here to say, this is a great thing, you know, let us tell you all the things that we can already do for you. It's what we don't know, that we can help come up with a solution for, that makes it really good. And I know Danny would say that I'm so proud of these guys. They're very responsive to whatever the client needs, and that's really how we see you guys as our customer. So we can do more things.
Yeah, really, they done a great job.
What did you do for the road department, for right-of-ways, for concourse, for drainage? Something
Yeah, we have,
We've got the tax parcel there, so when you zoom in, you'll see the road right-of-way lines.
it's actually that green.
The light green right here doesn't show, I guess it does. And then the annotation, we have labels. Maybe we don't have the annotation in this one, but we can add that where it labels the actual width of the road right-of-way. Contours are on here as well.
Those are 5-foot intervals. 5-foot intervals. Yeah. And the one thing that we talked a little bit about it, not to get too technical, we talked about caching and how that works. Unfortunately, when we do that, it actually caches, as we said, it makes a picture of the area. Unfortunately, with the labels, sometimes that doesn't work out so well. So, for example, these contours, the contours there would, you might have to travel a little distance before you can figure out exactly what that one is. So, that's something we can work on, though, too. Because we could.
Currently with Monte Commentary with our drainage, it's all been mapped by RPC.
Excellent. So,
Catch basin, our signs, and all our type. Just wondering how we can use this production.
yeah, we certainly have. We've been working with RPC on all the data, so we can, as long as we can get that data, we can put it in here and make it available.
And Sean Phillips has all our data.
Okay. And I guess it just depends on how you want to see that, where you would want it. Would you want it embedded on a website, or is that something more internal? If you just give us a direction.
Trustee Jim Aces, and he would like to see something for the public that we use on my webpage.
Okay.
I don't know what we want.
Sometimes we need phone calls, especially with off-road drainage and stuff like that, catch basins and pipes that might be running in the rear of their lots that it's not on the roadway. A lot of that's been located in the other system that Joe uses. A resident has a question, you write to the website, maybe pull out and find out exactly where it runs and where it's located in your own yard.
Gotcha. Yeah. We do have like the City of Lyons data that we had from Sean Phillips. Also worked with them to collect a lot of that kind of data, and we do have that up. We could show you how that could look. If you want to pull it up real quick, just to show you something different. But yeah, again, all of this information, it's just database on the backside. So when John clicks any of those features on the map, we can configure those pop-ups to pull back any of the information you really want to see. When he gets this loaded up, you'll notice that if he clicks on one of those lines, those pipes, you'll get, it'll take a second to load, but you'll get all the attributes that we call attributes. It's basically just a table information that, that relates to that point and what is collected for that point. So, if you had pipe diameter, those types of things that were collected by Sean, we can certainly put that into the system for you. So.
We've been working to the point too, to you, sir, is we've been working well with RPC on this. Again, we're coming from a world where we had a big central database that we were at different times of year pushing out to people. RPC, Sanitary, a couple others had their own database where they were largely using our data as, as a jumping off point, but maybe not getting updates from us, but, once or twice a year, or we were just sending them updates and they were changing everything themselves. So now we're in the process of kind of converting everything back over. And we're doing well with that to say one central database that everybody gets to know of. We started this process not quite 2 years ago, maybe about 18, 19 months ago, where we called everybody together and said, this is the vision. We've got some money from a grant to go invest in the technology that we could do it. Do you want to buy in? And everybody, very eagerly jumped on. So some are a little more simple process where it's just working with one township with RPC. It's a little more, maybe it's just a little more cumbersome. They got a lot of data, but we're getting there. We're really getting there on that. And it's, again, everybody's bought into the vision that one central repository to store everything, and then building out from there for what you want, for what works for your township. This works for Jackson.
We were thinking 5 years ago.
Right, for your stormwater collection. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that 5 years is up this year.
Right.
We are.
Right. No. So it's just a matter
The
of.
board's paid a lot of money.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's just a matter of how you want the data displayed, and that what makes it best and easiest for you to do your job. That's what we're after. So.
Hey, David, what do you get a lot of right now? What's like common?
The first thing I was, people want to know what their property is up. We'll call it.
It comes in and they.
What business are we in, what can we do, what are we not?
So Mr. Smith, you have a problem.
One thing I did
Get an address on it.
and I completely forgot to show this to you, where it's embedded on your website, there's a spot to search for an address.
What's your address, Al?
I'll give you mine, 6926 Northview Avenue, Northeast.
I'm glad that we're here in Plain Township, because a lot of times you know this is the auditor's address. Plenty of other Plain Township people.
There's a location.
So this guy comes in and gives you his address first, correct? And then,
Address?
okay, and then,
Comes in, touches it, Scott, quarter section 12, well, split quarter section. And then zone type is R1, which is single family residential. And if you want to change it,
so you be able to pull out, you can have this right now, that quick.
And then look at my group, you look at it, or someone looked at it, and boy, that's pretty close to the creek. We get the floodplain on it, we'll be able to punch up, and okay, well, you know what, part of your back property appears to be a floodplain. And then what I would do would be to direct him down to the correct building permit, because they're asking the floodplain director. We have to highlight right there and say, hey, maybe you better make another phone call here before you think of it.
So if you're looking at setbacks, then they're all visible right now, this residence is there. I'm not sure if I have a setback in the check.
Well, you can do a distance check, for example, how far the house is from the line. And, it's not 100%, but we can say, looks like you have enough room. Go ahead and make certain that you know where your property lines are. Or we can say, wait a minute, there's not enough space there. So it's pretty obvious that there isn't enough room to put something like an addition on to the side of the house, to the side lot line. Which then direct them possibly getting a variance or whatever. If we need max spring, we discuss it.
Yeah,
We recommend one today, got spring.
How's that, what'd you say, Lou?
We need maps. We just call them the permit.
Permit for us, it's all we permit.
Thank God we got two couriers that keep here in our building.
Well, what I did today was I took one of our quarter section maps.
Yeah, that's right.
One of our quarter section maps, I picked out an area and I ran an 11 by 7 copy of that area that showed multiple lots and things like that, so I can figure it out on number.
Yeah, or if you need the bigger map, same thing, you can just, call us, we'll run it for you, and somebody will run it for you. I mean, we got people in our office that live all over the county, so it's, we just send them all,
Oh, that's cool. Shut you off on these big processes.
And you can see their visual, it's kind of hard to see the thing about that quarter section. There are names of the subdivision. So once again, if someone if someone would call and say, okay, I'm interested in putting a shed in my backyard, or they bring in a permit, one of the things we need to check on, whether or as I'm aware, yeah, pretty much we'll be able to do this. And what we're going to do is get an interactive site, and when the office are remodeled, we're going to have an interactive site where you can project, and client will be able to come in, bring over, and we're going to have a nice screen where they can bang it up and look at it.
That's cheap.
If they need a copy, we can give them a
Yeah,
copy.
we really have a 11 by 17.
Yeah.
You know, there are other situations out there, we might be able to depend on that, finally connect, bought something in-house.
That's awesome.
Chief had a
Brian, is the digital version of that, is that permanent?
The PDF version?
Aaron.
So we
Oh,
can,
yeah.
view of a structure of a commercial building.
Yeah.
And just print it off our website.
Yes, absolutely, but they'd have to come down here and view larger map. Then, zoom in. It always takes a moment to load it. Saying we zoom in, we got a specific area you like. Come up here. It's gonna take you to a new window. As I said, there seems to be a 5 to 10 second delay in structuring the image, but it shows up.
And I know currently, we've gone over the past couple of years, we've actually GIS all of our hydrants.
Oh, yeah.
You guys overlay those on our maps for us. If you wouldn't put that into the water departments as far as the size of piping, I know they have individual water department, Canton Water, North Canton.
North Canton, work with.
So as far as the size of pipe that are flows through those hydrants, keep flow those hydrants, they don't do those?
I believe so. We do have North Cantons up there, if you could pull up North Cantons. I know they have all of their data. They had another consultant, I think, come in and collect that data for them. I don't know exactly all the different specifications that they have.
I know when ISO comes in, we have to go out and actually do flow tests on certain items of paper. Nice if we had items that say, this item flowed 3,000 gallons a minute or 2,000 gallons a minute.
As long as the data is collected, we can certainly, show that. And again, the one thing we didn't talk about is the other thing is all this stuff you see here today works also on this device. Any device for that matter.
We just did a quarter section app for the county engineer's office that Dan Howe, and we all know Dan Howe, the engineer. He just said it's saving them noodles of time already, just doing it on here, so.
So you can, there's a
He
big
showed it in the boardroom today, so he had his phone plugged in the projector in the boardroom, so I'm sending him a little text, Brian loves whatever. So. I'm going to let these guys finish talking. I've got to take off to go to another thing tonight. So thank you for being a great partner with us, for letting us come out tonight. Beat them up, make sure they're giving you exactly what they need. If you're not seeing us, we'll work to get it for you. So, all right? Thanks again. Yeah, have a good night, guys.
So, so there's North Canton, and that's the data that they're collecting, and how they have their whole network. They also edit that information, so they're going through and they're editing all that network. So if they move where a point is, for example, it's all interconnected. So any of these points, as they change them and move them around, it's going to actually keep that whole network together. And for you, as you were mentioning, there's a lot of when we put those networks together, there's a lot of things connected you don't want to have parts, so to speak. You've got to make sure they connect, otherwise that flow analysis won't actually work. So that's like that. But the ArcGIS app, I got a big phone, but from that distance, it still might be kind of small. The neat thing about this, and it's all the same functionality that you have seen up here, but obviously you can view your GPS, you can turn on your GPS, and now it's going to locate you to where you're at. I don't know if I doubt I'm going to get anything inside here. Let's see, my GPS is struggling to get anything, but okay, so I'm in here, and then if I want to, just like everything else, if I click on that parcel, you can see, and then again, the same stuff works. I mean, if you click those keys and you click here, it's going to ask you, do you want to go to your browser? Sure. And so there's this parcel. Absolutely. Yeah, we have phone lines on the application now with Plain Township website. The app that you want, if you guys are trying to, I don't know GIS. And once you go into there, you can, now all you see there, since you guys don't have a login necessarily, I don't know if you can share it with me, that's, but you can go in and you can just see all the public applications that we have. For example, your public facing, which now has all the data in it for the most part, which is kind of nice. That one would be available. Now what you want to do is, what's the keywords, John? Do you know the keywords for
Township,
plain?
Pride Plain, Stark County.
So it's kind of like social media type stuff, how that works. So if you put Plain Township, Stark County, or zoning in this search, and what I mean by that, I'll show you of course, so I can show you that. So you go into this search, once you you can do search. Yeah, you can do Stark County, but you should, and if you have any questions on this, if you want to walk, I'll still walk you through, we can certainly help you. But yeah, you should be able to get out there, get that app, and again, you have all this data. That's the beauty of when we talk about those services, and it's, it's like I said this morning in the work session with the commissioners, these services are just like when you get like a notification that you got a text message. It's the same kind of thing, it just comes, pushes to the phone, and you can just simply say ARCGIS. And it's a green icon. Or, no, that. Yeah, you guys have it. That's the right one. So, I mean, that's the other thing, again, for guys that you might have out in the field, I know we've got Water North Canton, as a matter of fact, that's really starting to do a lot of field type stuff with tablets, and they're really researching that kind of thing. Now, they want to do editing in the field, so if they turn something on that network and they want to change it or they replace something, they're actually able to do that on their tablets. They're working towards that, I should say. They're not there yet, but that's what they're working towards. So.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, if you don't have questions.
Yeah, I won't take too much of your guys' time, but yeah, if you have any questions.
Yes, you're really welcome to stay around for 7 o'clock.
Wasn't sure how to ask.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, yeah. Thank you very much for having us, appreciate it. And thank you for doing this with us. I mean, it's, hopefully it's helpful, and like I said, if it can be more helpful, let us know. We can certainly make modifications.
Do you want me to leave the handbook with the polygon, the zone change?